Good stuff. Shall I get this into rolling, ladies and gentlemen? Hey guys, it's me, Sir69, coming at you with another vlog on another cold March evening. Again, more and more cold. Winter will not give up its grip. It's icy grip on March and rolling into April. I assume we're probably going to have the same weather up here in Northern California. So, anyway, what are we smoking tonight and what are we drinking? Tonight we're smoking something we haven't smoked on the channel, something I haven't spoken about, which is the Diamond Crown series from J.C. Newman. Fantastic cigars. We have a little shop up here called Tobacco and Brew. If you guys are in the area, I highly suggest you go there. I'm not sponsored by Tobacco and Brew. I'm not a regular customer. I've been there 3 or 4 times picking up the J.C. Newman. This is a Churchill. And I much prefer them in the Churchill size. It's a very nice smoke, very cool. I mean, what you would expect from a premium cigar company. What I'm drinking, of course, is Johnny Walker Black Label. I mean, it's an excellent scotch. I mean, you can't go wrong. In my opinion, of course, that is subjective. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, well, I actually was thinking about that just moments ago. And I think we'll be talking about a little bit about the fashion industry, which is not something I'm not very knowledgeable about, in terms of suits. And right now I've got on a suit. I was just at a dinner, a family dinner, and I like to get kind of dressed up. And about my favorite person in the world, who is no longer with us, died in 1965, Sir Winston Churchill. Which segues nicely into cigars and whiskey. So let's talk a little bit about the fashion industry. The fashion industry kind of has declined. I mean, Gucci has customers, men and women. Louis Vuitton has its customers, but French so-and-sos. I don't like the French. I'm sorry, I don't like the French very much. I don't like the English either, but both, I mean, I don't like the English, but there's one pogger in their midst, and that's Winston Churchill. The Germans, they're okay. I mean, they're Germans. The Russians are the Russians, and the French are the French, and the British are the British. The English, I should say. So, anyway, the fashion industry has kind of gone down. Especially in my generation. I mean, I'm 21 years old, and the fashion industry is not what it once was. I mean, you don't have, like, people wearing nice suits. They don't smoke cigars, at least. They don't smoke cigarettes. They're smoking those vape crumb things. It's ridiculous. And the war on those, I use the term war because of the implications that it is pretty much a war that the health industry has waged against the vaping industry, which is a good war, but the war is waged against these things is ridiculous. I mean, yes, I know they kill you, and I recently saw a post of a poor chap who smoked when he was a teen. Just trust me, I know what it does to you, because holy crap. That almost made me stop smoking right then and there. Like, I gotta throw all my cigars away. Like, holy crap. Nah, never again. Like, holy Nikes, that was terrible. Which has made me think about my smoking habits and about the channel, because this channel is built on cigars. It's built on whiskey. It's built on those two things that I very much enjoy. So in terms, we'll be talking about that perhaps when the time comes nearer. But anyway, so the fashion industry has definitely less clients. People are not wearing suits. In the line of work I'm in, I don't need to wear a suit. I mean, pair of jeans and an okay shirt, and I'm ready to go. And maybe a jacket because it's cold, and we're good. We're ready to go. And again, I'm in an industry where you can't really wear suits. But if I was, doing an office job, I'd wear a suit. If I'm, even if I'm not on Wall Street, but if I'm in, like, say, tech support or something like that, I'd wear a suit. I would wear a suit. I immensely like wearing suits. I like feeling, gussied up. This suit's like $100. It's not that expensive. It's one of those Amazon purchases I made, and people don't wear suits anymore. Why? Because they can't afford them. You don't need to be rich to afford a suit. You need to put aside a day's pay, $100, and go buy one on Amazon. I'm sure you can find cheaper ones out there for like $20. They ain't Gucci, but they make you look at least halfway decent. We have a chain of stores here called Men's Warehouse. I'm not too sure if they're international or national. They might be. I could be just talking about my rear end. But anyway, the Men's Warehouse I went into here, I talked to them a little bit about it, and man, those guys are well dressed. I mean, just immaculately nice suits. I felt so inferior. I had shorts on, my jacket that you guys see me smoking, the wool one with the scarf. I think I've worn it on a couple videos. Or I could be just talking on my rear end. But anyway, it's this big, nice wool jacket and a t-shirt. And man, as soon as I walked in there, I'm like, I feel like an idiot walking in here with this shit on. So, anyway, suck on that cancer stick. Anyway, tangent over, back on target. But who wore suits the best? Winston Churchill. Now, I think we might go into a video where I'm not drinking. I might do it inside, where I may be drinking, but not too much, and I'll have some files open. But kind of my prelude to Churchill is, I did a report on it, an argumentative paper in just last semester in high school. I'm not in high school. I'm in college. You so and so. I'm insulting myself. Anyway, Winston Churchill has been deemed a racist. I think he was a creature of his time. Like Gandhi in his early days was racist toward blacks. You read some of his work toward blacks, and it's like, my gosh, you can't even believe it. And you can't take that stuff back. I mean, it's there forever. You might change your policies eventually, but those views you had during your youth, they stick with you. And you guys can call me racist and misogynist or any other phrase, and it's the internet. I mean, there are going to be people out there that are just going to be toxic because they can be toxic, and unfortunately that's the state of the situation. I mean, Churchill saved the free world. If it wasn't for his actions in 1940 and his speeches and his rebel-rousing attitude toward the British, or rebel-rousing toward the Nazis and their ilk, we would be living in a very different world. Now, I know the Nazis couldn't probably invade Britain. That's debatable. You could say they could have. You could say they didn't have the chances. I don't care. His speeches literally implored the nation to fight, and fight they did, and fight like caged rats, as Churchill would put it years later about the Germans. They were not alone in that fight. They had the United States backing them up militarily, economically. In terms of military, like hardware, not soldiers, of course. They had the Dominion, the Empire. Um, Although, of course, that's a whole different ball game. And history these days is kind of interesting. Being in this historical community is something that you have to you have to make sure you're careful. Because in the historical community, you have people who have agendas. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I have an agenda too. There is no historian who has no agenda. No historian who has not one agenda. Not one. All right? I have an agenda. I talk about the Romans, the Eastern Romans, with a light in a swiftly darkening world. The caliphates I have problems with because, again, I'm Orthodox. I mean, I don't have any problems with the current. As long as we respect each other, there's a mutual respect going on. But anyway, my point is that there's no historian who doesn't have an agenda, whether it's pushing a political belief or a societal belief or whatever. There will always be historians who try and degrade the truth. I strive to be a better historian, to at least give the truth as best I can, as being a aspiring history professor and a historian, trying to give you the bare bones to get you to research. That's the point of me talking about this stuff. It is go out and see if I'm wrong. Contradict me. I'm not saying that the contents of these views, I never said, and I will never say that I'm completely 100% right. I could be completely talking out of my rear end, and you guys need to hold me accountable. That's the thing I hate about the media these days. And I'm talking Fox, CNN, I don't care. It is so hard to find independent sources who legitimately have no bias to both sides. And I know that there's been people like TLDR News. Shout out to them. Go subscribe to them. I've been subscribed to them ever since the whole Brexit thing because I was trying to follow that. And they were literally born off that. And now they've expanded to the only media source I trust and watch, because I don't watch. I should watch Good Morning America or its sister show that airs at night. I can't remember the name at the moment because I'm starting to get inebriated, and I'm on cigar 3 of today. I had Robusto earlier when I got home. Then I had one of these bad boys when I was doing some homework, some schoolwork, some college work, if you will. Anyway, and I had a Robusto to help finish that off. And then I ashed it, and I was doing this now. So, anyway. The interesting thing about Churchill, I'm gonna kind of try and rip this because we're already at 15 minutes, and I realize that you guys probably don't want to listen to me yammer on for about 15 minutes, about stuff. But anyway, Churchill deemed a racist, and one of my favorite quotes. I'm gonna try and do this one justice, but I said essentially during his little the reason he got so hooked on Cuban cigars was during his days of glory when he was in his 20s. He went to Cuba during the revolution there in 1897, something like that, 1890s. And he arrived in Havana, and he was met. They were supposed to meet a Spanish officer. He didn't show up. He and his friend then rented the best room at the best hotel in the city, or rented a room at the best hotel in the city, and spent the next couple days consuming the two finest, the two most local delicacies: oranges and cigars. I found that out through cigars, a cigar aficionado, which I'm having some reservations about, though. Anyway, that's another video. I need to write my ideas down when I'm drunk. Just jot them down, because I could do some proper research, and I think as we go along in these videos, we're gonna get proper formatting, like a proper camera if this channel blows up, and we might even do some Total War stuff, which is gonna be kind of cool. I mean, if I can grow this channel to some good subscribers, you guys are all amazing. But if I can grow this channel to 10K subs, I'd be really, really appreciative. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy your evenings, your Saturday evenings. I'm going to finish off this lovely cigar, and I'm going to finish off this whiskey. And then I'm going to go to bed and go work on my truck in the morning. So, again, don't drink and drive. I will catch you. And, again, smoking kills, but smoke well and drink well. But, again, don't drink and drive. I will catch you, and smoking kills. Sprint69, signing off for now.